Hello and welcome to week 3 of our Advent calendar and activities. This activity is building a gumdrop tree. So we're using some of our engineering skills and trying out some building skills, but it can also involve our planning and observation and design skills as well. So what you will need is just a bunch of gumdrops and a bunch of toothpicks and your imagination. When building gumdrop trees and really building anything, I think it's also important to embrace kind of the joy and uncertainty of building. So building things can bring us lots of joy and be a lot of fun, but it can also be really frustrating and require a lot of problem solving. So I have some small examples for you, just little fun things that I've done that I hope will inspire you in your creativity for this activity. So one thing to know about gumdrop trees is they can be whatever you want, and depending on your goals, you may end up with all kinds of different designs. So for example, you may want to build the tallest tree possible, and so your design might be different than somebody who wants to build the strongest one or the most stable one. Maybe somebody wants to explore with different shapes and figure out what shapes work really well for building a gumdrop tree. And maybe someone else is more passionate about building something with a really cool design and color pattern. Whatever your goal is, embrace it and try out new things. And if it doesn't work, just try it a different way. Some suggestions in the world of engineering, we've learned that triangles are one of the most stable shapes when building. So if you're going for something that you want to make taller or stronger, you'll want to work with triangles. Now, you don't have to stick with just a triangle like this with 3 sides and 3 gumdrops. You could I made a pentagon and then I made triangles within that. I'm not quite sure how this would work into my Christmas tree. Maybe I use it as a base or a foundation. Maybe I use it as a side and build up off of a triangle. The possibilities are endless. You can add on just one at a time. Maybe this is the top of my Christmas tree, or maybe I'm just happy with this being my Christmas tree. You can try different strategies. How many can you stack on top of each other? Can you make little decorations at the top of your tree and see whose gumdrop tree can hold up a star at the top? A couple other helpful things is you don't have to be stuck with just one toothpick. You can make sides longer and still have a triangle shape by attaching multiple gumdrops and trying to make a bigger long line. You might notice as I'm trying to hold this, it's very bendy and moves a lot. So if I'm going for something that will stand up as a tree, I may want to add in different pieces. So maybe I add in some toothpicks and I make more of that triangle shape. And I try and get some supports in here. So now there's still a couple triangles. I could even add more toothpicks in here if I wanted to make something really strong. And you can see that I've created now a bunch of different toothpicks and it even feels stronger. So whether you are a builder and you don't want a plan or a planner, there are some strategies. I tend to just go ahead and start building and trying stuff out. That does lead to some problems with your toothpicks maybe running out or your gumdrops getting destroyed. So if you want to be thoughtful about it, maybe you write out a plan, draw some designs and see what works. You can just go for it, and once you build something and you're like, yep, this looks like a Christmas tree, see if you can make changes. Can you make a similar shape but try and use the least amount of gumdrops possible? Or see who can get the tallest tree with the least amount of toothpicks. It's a really fun way to explore during this season. And one thing I really like about building and engineering, like I said at the beginning, is kind of the joy that it brings when you're successful and you're like, yes, I have something that's strong and can stand up. But it also teaches us to embrace uncertainty. And I think looking at the scriptures for this week for Advent about Mary and Joseph having Jesus in a manger, it really helps me remember, like, this season can be really full of joy, like this celebration of Jesus coming and changing our world forever, but also the uncertainty that came with that. I couldn't imagine being Mary and Joseph trying to find a place when you're about to have this baby and being uncertain about what's going to come next in your life and how to take care of this little one. And I think especially right now, our lives are full of uncertainty. So I'm hoping that through this activity, you can find some joy and use the time of building and the uncertainty in the building to just reflect on this season and really be thankful for Jesus being here to help us through those uncertain times. Good luck not eating all of your gumdrops before you finish your trees. And we'd love to see any pictures and for you to share the joy that you've had building these with your families. Have fun.